Man, that was a long night. Kratom sucks. It really does. Um, Man, when you go to stop the akathesia, the feeling like you got to move around is just overwhelming. It's terrible. I think I slept for 2 hours last night. Got up 1 10. Was up until 4:40, something like that, and then went back to sleep. No, it wasn't 4:40. It was sometime after 4. I got up sometime at 5 o'clock on the dot actually, and figured I guess that was time to start my day. And this is why in the past I haven't quit. I've tried more than once and struggled, and it was just easier to keep doing it. But my family and I, we're getting ready to move. It's a pretty substantial move, and it's gonna be a new start for us. And I'm not bringing the past into it, and so this is gonna end. And I can tell you that I wouldn't be making it this far in the absence of faith. It's the only thing that's kept me floating. Because when you feel like you're losing your mind and like your entire body has restless leg syndrome, it's comforting to have something more important to lean on, to say that I'm willing to give this up to have that. It's a strange thing to put yourself in, a situation where it's a choice to suffer so that you don't suffer more. And I think that's why a lot of people are falling away from religion these days, to be honest. I think a lot of people have so many things in their life that if they were to get right with God, they'd have to sacrifice. That they're not sure they want to commit to thinking that God is real. Because if he is, then hell might be real. And if hell is real, well then, what if I can't do it? Well, the truth is, if you're sincere, you don't have to do it by yourself. You can't do it. That's why you haven't done it so far. You can't do certain things in life without God. It just is how it is. We all have our limits for strength. And today it's hard. It's hard to be humble and to not feel ashamed of being humble. To not feel like you got a problem if you can't deal with your stuff. I think it's always been that way, but I think today it might be harder. Because we have so much comparison to other people's lives. We have so much perspective and view into other people's lives because of the internet. I think it can really color things, especially since people filter out their life. They don't show everything, But I have found that when you're sincere, God will step in, as long as you're willing to get out of the way. If you're still trying to fix the problem yourself, if you're like, well, I'll do this, and God, if you could pick up the rest, then you're on your own. He's going to let you fumble until you can't but admit that the only reason you got through it is because he helped. And when you're in that situation, he will. But you have to make the choice. The choice to surrender. And surrender means not fighting anymore. You have to actually surrender. In my case, that was a whole bunch of stuff. In the past, when I have tried to quit Kratom, I found that alcohol can help, right? Kava can help deal with the akathesia. The problem is it just prolongs and protracts the akathesia, because you end up with this dopamine spike and this GABAergic, driven dopamine spike that kind of calms everything down, and then you again have that dopamine drop off the next day. And so you end up in a cycle where the akathesia is not healing, because you're not just dealing with the dopamine deficiency, which is what is causing it. And if you would just sit in the suffering long enough, you'd get through it. If you could feel the suffering as healing, you get through it. It's hard to do. You know? I mean, the other night, I was really struggling to sleep. And it was terrible. The akathesia was pretty terrible. Last night was pretty bad. I only slept like 2.5 hours. But the other night was worse. And when I finally was able to sleep, it was when I realized that I had a nicotine patch on. And that I had thought that was helping. I thought that that would help kind of, take the edge off. And no. God wanted me to let go of all of it. Drink some water, he said. That was a feeling I had in my heart. So, I took it off, drank some water, and 10 minutes later I was asleep. I mean, I just went and I started reading my Bible and fell asleep, and I slept like a baby. As long as I slept in a couple days. But you got to give him the chance to show you. And as long as you have something else to believe is responsible for your success, you're probably going to believe that. And so he's not going to step in until you give that up. So just heads up out there. And I hope that helps somebody. I hope that helps somebody else that's going through the same thing. Because, man, Kratom ain't no joke, man. It'll mess you up. So, all right. Have a good day. Today is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I might have a good day. And I hope that you do too. All right. See ya.